Hey everyone, this is Dan and I'm back with another game review. Today I'm going to be doing a review on Apache Air Assault. Even though it's a 2-year-old game, I'm pretty happy with it. The storyline is pretty basic. You are a pilot, you get thrown into helis, and you have to go around the world, do several kinds of campaign missions that the country requires from you. Now we are in the main menu of the game itself, so you have of course the campaign mode, where you have up to, I do believe, 15 missions in total, so it's pretty decent, and that's it for the campaign mode. Once you're done with that, you can of course, you can select the difficulty of the campaign mode, what you want, training or realistic, and then you can go to free flight. Here you can set up just a free flight, and you can even set up on how many allies you want, day of time, ground units, skins, rookies, difficulty of enemies, how many enemies you want, the amount of weapons, what aircraft you'll be flying. As you can see, you can only select a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's pretty cool. You can select a few planes that you want to fly with, so it's pretty nice. And that's about it. The enemy itself, and of course the difficulty level of the enemy. And then you have squad operations, and here you have a quick match, start missions. Here you can play missions actually together with actual a player. So for example, if I want to play with my friends, I can select the preset mission itself, and I can play some of these missions, or I can create my own mission or custom match my own missions, or you can just play online some missions with friends together. It's pretty nice. And then you have the options. Of course, you have game options, sounds, controls. When you push the Y, you actually get up to set up your access in regards to the Xbox joystick that I'm using currently. You can't play this game without an Xbox joystick, so make sure you have an Xbox joystick, otherwise you're really not going to enjoy this game itself. And then you're gonna go to the extras. Here comes the interesting part. Here you have the hangar. Here you have all the different types of planes. You have the M35 Hind. You have the MQ-8B Fire Scout, so that's pretty nice. And then you have the Apache AH-1, and then you have the AH-64X, and then you have the AH-64D. So yeah, this is in regards to your hangar itself. Of course, in the hangar you can actually put on decals and stuff, like stickers and shit on it. You have statistics. It shows you all the stuff that you have did. I played it around 4 hours. I do believe the game time for this campaign could be around 6 to 10 hours, maybe a little less. I played it 4. I have 2 more missions, maybe 4 more missions or something left, so I would say maybe 6 hours and stuff. I'd probably mess about and I'll go through it pretty quick. So around 6 hours gameplay time to 10, depending on your skill level of actually playing games. Leaderboards, of course, you can check online replays, you can save your replays, encyclopedia, credits, and so forth and so on. And this is in regards to the actual game menu itself. Now, the gameplay itself is very enjoyable. You actually get to see the hot air coming out of the exhaust of your Apache. You also get to see the sand and trees and debris kick up when you get close to the ground, and the trees move back from the backwash. Your heli has various degrees of being taken out. That being, it either catches fire when you get damaged and reacts accordingly in regards to what the damage is. Also, your blades get to break off, or your tail breaks off from your main body. So you do not always get the same crash every time you mess up. You get to shoot hellfires and put on the camera view to watch the missile impact its target. It really is very nice to watch, but you gotta be careful to not crash into the mountain as you continue to move, even when you're in camera mode. Maybe even better to keep the auto hover on when you want to take a look. Your Gatling gun, or what I like to call it so, has a very nice interface. You get 2 views, one in standard vision, where you can see clearly enemies moving about, and another one in infrared, where you get to see the heat signatures of enemies. Both gives you a very satisfying close combat feel, especially when you tear at a bunch of enemies below. The environment overall is pretty interactive when it comes down to shooting at things. Blowing buildings up, trees falling over, dust kicks up, various different types of dust clouds kick up, and color depends on the target you impact and weapon you used, and also depends on what ground you actually hit with those weapons. Of course, you get to try out different types of helis, not all in the campaign mode, but all are available in the free flight mode. And yes, you do get the multiplayer, and the cool thing about it is you can either go up against your friend, create custom games to play with, or play a mission together with up to 4 players. So really, this maybe is a 2-year-old game, but the graphics and actual mechanics of the game in my book are above average. Now, what I don't really like is that the customization of the heli decals are very basic. I do not really have a large selection. Also, I can't really paint the heli any color I want. Furthermore, the music, specifically the combat music, is always the same soundtrack. Yes, I know it's a pretty good soundtrack, but it would be nice to be able to have at least 3 revolving combat soundtracks for the game, as the game time is pretty decent, and sooner or later the soundtrack dies out in your head. Also, when you're in the hangar, you cannot use your Xbox joystick to rotate around the heli. Once I get into the hangar and I want to rotate the heli using the left roller, it doesn't allow me to rotate the heli. It actually just moves to the next heli. I don't know why they don't use the second controller to actually control the menu and use this to rotate and view your helis in the hangar itself. You know, this is sort of, I don't know, mismanagement or misprogramming in regards to their side. You know, every time I need to use my mouse to actually be able to view and rotate the heli and the hangar itself. One thing that I also noticed is when you're up against another heli, it's practically pointless using your homing missiles. There's only one quest in the beginning of the campaign makes it possible to hit these flying targets. Later on, all air-to-air missiles, which you only have 4 of, never hit the target, as all opponents use flares and all will miss. Even moving up close, literally in front of the enemy, causes for a miss. I might not be doing something right, but hey, you let me know and I'll find out. So, when it comes down to air-to-air combat, you have to rely only on your rockets and your Gatling gun. Furthermore, I know this game is in cooperation with Boeing, but it would be nice if they also incorporated more non-Boeing products into the game itself. Like that, I would have a much greater variety of helis I can play with, on both free flights and campaign missions. And also maybe some unique unlockables in multiplayer. Some Russian helis would be a nice addition. As well as, yes, the free flight does allow you to play with all the helis you have in the hangar, but the campaign missions do not allow you to select the heli you want to use, or to arm the heli how you'd like. Would be nice if you could set up the heli in regards to armaments the way you want. Overall, I'm happy with the game itself. I would give it a fair 6 out of 10. And if you're looking for a good realistic heli simulator, sure, give this a go. Yes, it may be 2 years old, but for what it gives you, it's very acceptable. And if you grab it at a clearance price, it's a steal. A few days back, this game was on sale actually for around $3.5 to $4.5 on Uplay. So really a no-brainer there. I do update small things like this at my blog, as I don't want to spam small feed posts on my YouTube channel. So if you want to stay up to date, check it out, it's in the link in the description below. And one last thing, do not rely on Steam to supply you with the game sales only. There are plenty of other small distributors out there with much more competitive prices, if not even retail distributors. Well, this is it for this review. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with the next videos for this channel. And as always, happy gaming and see you again next time. Okay, this is pretty interesting to see. I never did the airstrike, so I did do it a little bit wrong. I should have selected the protected, so it's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh yeah. It'd be pretty nice if I could control the drones. I don't think so.